All right, so today we're diving into some pretty wild stories surrounding celebrity culture,
Oh, yeah.
specifically those rumors about P. Diddy and his parties,
Right.
and those ones that have been whispered about for years.
Oh, well, for years, right?
Well, now a young woman named Tanea is claiming she was actually there,
Wow.
and she told her story on the Soft White Underbelly podcast, and it's got people talking.
It's really got people talking. Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
It's very
I'm going to
interesting.
take a deep dive into her account and kind of see what we can glean from it.
Absolutely. And I think it's so interesting because she doesn't just call them parties, right? She calls them freak-offs.
Right.
That name alone suggests a level of, like, uninhibited revelry.
It really does.
But what's truly fascinating is her account of the security measures, like she talks about confiscated phones, NDAs. It all points to a deliberate effort to keep these things super secret.
Yeah, you're right. It's like they're going to these extreme lengths to create this world where anything goes
Right.
and nobody outside finds out.
Exactly.
And then she goes on to describe the scene inside, and it's just as captivating.
Yeah.
Lavish decorations, bold fashion choices, and a guest list just overflowing with A-listers.
Oh, yeah.
She paints this picture of these celebrities seemingly shedding their public personas and engaging in behavior that they would never display in broad daylight.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where it gets really interesting because she
Yeah.
doesn't just talk about wild partying. She hints at something deeper,
Yeah.
something maybe even ritualistic happening behind closed doors.
Okay.
And she doesn't name names or give explicit details, which just adds to the mystery.
It really does. And it makes you wonder, is this a carefully constructed narrative
Right.
designed to shock, or is there some genuine truth to her story?
Right.
It's tricky because on the one hand, we have to be cautious about taking a single unverified account at face value.
Absolutely, you have to.
But on the other hand, her story does align with years of speculation and rumors
Yeah.
surrounding Diddy's parties. So there's been this persistent undercurrent of whispers about these gatherings, and her account, while potentially embellished, does tap into that.
Totally. And I think,
Yeah.
it's important to note,
Okay.
this is not the first time we've heard about this.
Right.
Like, these rumors have been around forever, so.
Yeah, so let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
Okay.
Let's say some or even most of what Penny is describing is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about the world of celebrity culture?
Right.
Is this just harmless fun, or is there something more concerning at play?
It really raises questions about the potential disconnect between the image that celebrities project and their
Yes.
actual private lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder about the psychological impact of these extreme environments.
It's like they're stepping into a totally different world with
Totally.
a different set of rules.
Right.
And you have to wonder if that kind of detachment from reality has any lasting consequences.
For sure.
Okay.
And not to mention the potential consequences for Diddy himself. Oh, absolutely.
Like these allegations, if they gain traction, could really damage his brand.
His image as a successful entrepreneur and cultural icon could be tarnished.
Yeah.
And it's not just about him. It raises concerns about the entertainment industry as a whole.
Totally.
If this is just the tip of the iceberg, what does that say about the culture of secrecy
Right.
and potentially even harmful behavior that might be lurking beneath the surface?
That's a good question, and it's one that we should be asking.
We should.
And I think it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not just about the partying or the secrecy.
Right.
It's this suggestion of something darker, almost ritualistic.
Yeah.
That's what's unsettling, even though it's vague.
It is unsettling. And that's where things get really complex.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're venturing into territory that's captivating but potentially dangerous.
Absolutely.
It's like we're trying to piece together this puzzle with only a few pieces,
Right.
and we're relying heavily on conjecture and interpretation. Yeah, and we have to be careful about jumping to conclusions.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's hard to ignore those potential implications,
It is.
especially considering the power dynamics.
Yeah, we're talking about Diddy,
Right. A powerful fist.
a titan in the industry.
Exactly.
And then you have this young woman who's relatively unknown.
Right. It raises questions about consent exploitation.
Yeah.
The pressure to conform within these circles.
And if there's any truth to her claims about NDAs,
Right.
that just adds another layer of concern
Oh, absolutely.
because it suggests a deliberate attempt to silence anyone who might speak out,
Exactly.
which is a chilling thought.
It is.
And it makes you wonder, are these parties truly consensual gatherings?
Right.
Or is there some element of coercion or manipulation involved?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
It's possible that some people are willingly participating,
Right.
looking for a sense of belonging or escape.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also possible that others are being drawn into situations they don't understand or consent to,
Right.
especially if they're young or vulnerable.
And even if there's no overt coercion, there's still this issue of power imbalance.
Oh, huge.
It's hard to imagine a truly level playing field when you have someone like Diddy hosting these events.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the potential legal ramifications.
Oh, yeah.
If there's evidence of illegal activity or exploitation,
Mm-hmm.
Diddy could face serious consequences.
He could, and even if it doesn't lead to criminal charges,
Right.
the damage to his reputation and his brand could be significant.
For sure.
And it could spark a much broader conversation about accountability and transparency in the industry.
This case has the potential to be a watershed moment.
It does.
It could inspire others to come forward, maybe
Uh-huh.
create a ripple effect
Yeah.
that forces Hollywood to confront some uncomfortable truths.
Or it could lead to a backlash
Right.
where the industry closes ranks to protect its own.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Either way,
Mm-hmm.
her story has opened a Pandora's box,
It has.
and the consequences could be far-reaching.
Absolutely. I think it's a reminder that behind all the glitz and glamour,
Mm-hmm.
there's a darker underbelly.
Yeah.
And it's a story that needs to be examined carefully and thoughtfully.
And, thinking about Tanea's allegations and Diddy's parties, one thing that keeps coming up is the potential for lasting impact.
Yeah.
This isn't just some gossip piece. It's a story that touches on deeper issues.
Oh, for sure.
Power, consent,
Right.
the responsibility that comes with fame and influence.
It really does. It forces us to ask some tough questions
Right.
about the culture of secrecy in the entertainment industry.
It makes you think about the media's role in all of this.
Right.
Are they part of the problem, or will they use their platform to shed light on these darker aspects?
Yeah, I mean, are they complicit in perpetuating the silence, or are they going to hold people accountable?
It's like they're holding up a mirror to society,
Yeah.
reflecting our values and priorities.
Right. Are we just fascinated by the scandal?
Right.
Or are we actually concerned about the potential harm?
And it's not just about the media. It's about us, too.
Oh, totally.
As consumers of information,
Us as consumers,
are
absolutely.
we willing to engage with these stories on a deeper level?
Right.
Challenge the narratives and demand accountability.
I think that's the key.
It's a call to action for all of us.
It is.
This isn't just about Diddy. It's about recognizing these systemic issues
Yeah.
that exist in so many industries, not just Hollywood.
Right.
It's about challenging the status quo and demanding a culture where everyone feels safe to speak up
Exactly. A culture where everyone feels safe.
without fear.
Absolutely.
And Tanea's story, whether or not it leads to legal action,
Right.
it's already made an impact.
It has.
It's planted a seed of doubt, started a conversation.
It's empowered others
Yeah.
who might have similar experiences.
It's a reminder that even a single voice can have a ripple effect,
Absolutely.
challenging those narratives and making us consider our own role in systems that allow these behaviors to flourish.
Yeah, for sure. And, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought. What if this is just the beginning? What if Tanea's story sparks a larger movement towards transparency and accountability?
It's a hopeful thought,
It is.
and one I think we should all embrace,
I agree.
because it's about creating a world where power is used responsibly,
Mm-hmm.
voices are heard, and everyone feels safe and respected.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, this was a good one.
Remember, keep asking questions, keep demanding better, and keep fighting for a more just and equitable world